Good morning students, welcome back to operating system class. In the last class already I have explained what is a process communication, what is the inter-process communication, how process are communicating with each other. Okay, as already explained, process can communicate with each other through the two models. One is shared memory and the second one by using a message passing. Okay, one is the shared memory and the second one by using a message passing. Okay, process can communicate in two models. One is a shared memory and the second one is a message passing. In the shared memory, already I explained. Example, process P1 is there and process P2 is there. So process P1 want to share the information. Then what happens? Shared memory. The shared memory will give the information whatever it want to share with the other process, and whichever process want to use that, they will attach to the shared memory. Understood? Here one process will share the information. One cooperative process will share the information, and whatever information it is sharing, that will be in that process address space only, and whichever process want to use that shared memory, that process will be attached to the process in the shared memory. Clear all of you? This is a shared memory. Now come to the message passing. This is the second model in a process communication. In the name itself you have a definition. Message passing means here the process are communicating through the messages. One process is sending a message and the second process is receiving a message. Means using a messages they are communicating. They are physically not connected, but they are communicating through the messages. Clear all of you? And what advantages you have in this is, this method easy to implement, and here the process are communicating through the messages only. The process are communicating through the messages only. And this type of communication is useful for only sending small amount of data. Understood? What advantages you have? Here the messages can communicating through the messages. First advantage. The second one is this type of method is very easy to implement. The third one is this type of method is used for sending only the small amount of data. And now I will give you the picture so that you can get the visual representation of that message passing. So as I said, how many processes we have? Two processes. First one is sending process and the second one is receiving process. Next, sending process is sending a message and receiving process is receiving. Okay, message passing. Sending message passing means sending process is passing a message and the receiving process is a receiving. Okay, message passing this also. Sorry, please. Message passing. Okay, but which process is communicating with which process? Then we'll give that information by using process ID. Process. As I said, each and every process there is ID. Process ID and what message they are sending. Clear? Here the sending process is sending a message. Receiving process is receiving a message. And sending process is sending a message, and that message is passed to the receiving process through the process ID. And the receiving process is receiving a message from the sending process. Okay, you can take this. Clear? Now, here when one process is sending message to another process, what primitives they have to follow? First one is send primitive. This primitive is used to send the message. Here you can add the parameters. Send, message and destination. And if a process is second primitive, receiving process. Receive, message, host. Okay, here sending process is sending a message, and here they will give the destination, means process ID or whatever is required to identify the receiving process, that will give. Next come to the second one, receiving process. Receiving process will receive the message, and with that message it will get the host name from which process it is received the message. And the third one is link, establishment of link. Establish link. If there is a link, then only the process can communicate with each other. Understood? Send primitive, receive primitive, the third one is a link. If these 3 points are there, 3 primitives are there, then only the communication is possible between a two process in a message passing model. Clear all of you? And here one point you need to remember is when you are giving a link between, when you are establishing a link between a process, how you can establish a link? Okay. So in a message passing, the link can be established. In message passing, the link can be established in 3 ways. First one is indirect, or first we will discuss about the direct. Direct or indirect. The next one is a synchronization. Synchronization. And the third one is automatic. Okay. Link can be established between a process in 3 ways. One is direct or indirect, the second one is a synchronization, and the third one is a automatic. Again come to a indirect. Again indirect, there are 2 ways. In the direct communication also, it may be a symmetric or asymmetric. Asymmetric. Okay. Clear all of you? And indirect communication also, it may be a user or it may be a operating system. How it is, I will explain. Just you go through this picture. Right? So, link can be established between a two process by 2 or it may be a more, using a direct or indirect. The second one is a synchronization and the third one is a automatic. Clear? Again indirect, symmetric or asymmetric, and an indirect it may be user and the operating system. Next synchronization, there are 4 ends at the time of synchronization. I will explain. You go through this. Here, now we will discuss about the direct and indirect link. Okay, first we will complete the direct, next I will explain the indirect. In the name itself, you have a definition, direct link. Direct link means the sending process is directly communicating with the receiving process. So, here, sending process, use the primitive send. To whom it is sending? Message, or you can give like this, P, message. Means the sending process is sending a message to a process P. Now, come to the receive. Receive, here, message, Q. Okay, what is the receiving process? Receiving a message from a Q. This process Q is sending message to the P. Understood? P is receiving from a Q. So send P comma message and receive message comma Q. So Q is receiving message from P. P is sending message to a Q. So here what you observed, receiver and the sender both known about each other. Means to whom they are sending a message and from where they are receiving the message. They know about each other. Okay, so This is called as a direct communication. And when the link is established, the link is established between pair of process. Okay, link is established between pair of process. Between a two process, the link is established. Next, here at most only two process. At most only two process. And between a process, there is only one link. There is only one link. You can take this as a text message. You can take the text message will example. I am sending message to only one person, one student I am sending. So there is direct communication. Example, I am sending to 101. So myself is the sending process and 101 is the receiving process. Only at most two processes are there. Okay, and link is established in a pair of process. Next, there is only one link between a process. Understood? Once you go through these points. Now, in a direct link also, I said two. Okay, direct link is of two types. One is a symmetric. The second one is a asymmetric. Okay, so here sender knows about the receiver. Receiver knows about the sender. So this will come under the symmetric message passing. Now, same one more method I will explain. Sending process P. Receiving, just only one change is there for the asymmetry. Sending and receiving. Here, ID message. So what is the difference between this and the previous one? In the previous one, P means sender knows about the receiver and the receiver knows about the sender. But here, only the sender knows about the receiver, but receiver, it doesn't know about the sender. Okay, means in this case, the receiver can receive a message from ID. Here, we are not giving the sender name. This will come under the symmetric. Clear? Symmetric linkage. So, direct communication again is divided into two categories. One is a symmetric and the second one is a asymmetric. In a symmetric communication, sender knows about the receiver knows about the sender. Clear? In asymmetric communication, sender knows about the receiver, but receiver doesn't know about the sender, and the receiver receives the message using a process ID of the process. Clear all of you? Now, we'll come to the synchronization. Now, the next direct communication already I have explained. Now come to the indirect communication. Indirect communication, in the name itself you have a definition. Indirect means the process are not communicating with each other. They are receiving the messages but they don't know about each other. Here, indirect communication means, example, P1 is there. P1 is one process and P2 is one process. P1 is sending a message to the P2 process, but here they are indirectly communicating means between these two processes, one mailbox will be created. So whatever process want to send the message, that should be sent to the mail. Again, whatever P2 want to receive, whatever messages the P2 want to receive, that should take the messages from the mailbox. Means directly they are not communicating. They are communicating through the mailboxes. Indirect communication. Understood? Sending process is sending message to the default mailbox and the receiving process is receiving message from the mailbox only. They are not communicating directly. They are communicating through the mailboxes. Clear? Mailboxes also, there are two types. Yes, in two ways you can create the mailboxes. One is user process mailbox and the second one is operating system mailbox. Okay, example here, when mailbox is created, there is only one, there should be only one owner to the mailbox. Okay, example here P1 is creating the mailbox and P1 is sending messages to the receiver. Okay, so receiver will receive the message. But here, when when the messages are receiving or when messages are sending, all the messages address space is with the P1 only. P1 process address space is used by the another process. Clear? So here means in this only one point is there. Process is creating a mail ID. Process is creating a mailbox, and from that mailbox it is sending messages to the other process. Example, you have a mail ID. You are sending mails to your friends on that. You are the owner of your mail. You are sending messages to other process. They are receiving a messages. But from where you are sending? From mail you are sending. Directly you are not sending. So that is why it will come under the indirect communication. Clear? Here, whichever process is created the mailbox, that process will be the owner of that mailbox. Clear? And whatever messages are sent, that messages are identified with the sender process address only. Now, come to the operating system. Here, the process can communicate, again the process can communicate through the mails only. But here, the mailbox is created by the operating system only, not by any user. Here the mailbox is created by the operating system, not by any user. Clear all of you? And whichever process want to share the information, that process easily they can send the messages to the mailbox and they can receive messages from that mailbox. Clear all of you? So in indirect communication, the process are not directly communicating with each other. They are communicating through the mailboxes. Here mailboxes can be created by the two process. One is by using a user process and the second one by using the operating system. Clear? So here whichever process is creating the mailbox, that process will be the owner of that mail. Means whatever mails are sending through that mailboxes, that are identified with the P1 address space. Whereas the operating system will create the mailbox, sending process and receiving process can send and receive mail from that mailbox. This is the indirect communication. Clear? So indirect communication, how they are communicating? Through the messages, send and receive. In indirect communication, how they are communicating? Through the mails. Clear? Now come to the synchronization. So the second one is a synchronization. Synchronization. So here in synchronization also, using that link also, the messages can be sent by using a send primitive and a receive primitive. But the conditions are following are different. Here 4 categories are there. First one is a blocking send, blocking send, blocking unblock send, unblock send, block receive, unblock receive. Means here blocking send means the sending process will be blocked until the receiving process receives the message. Here they are using same primitive, send primitive, receive primitive, but the communication they are following that are different. So in this blocking send means till the receiver receives the message, sending process will be in a blocked mode. The second one is unblocked send. Okay, sending process will send the message and it will resume with its operation. It won't wait for the receiving process to receive the message. Now come to the block receive. The receiving process will be in a blocked state until it receives a message. Next, unblock receive. Here the receiving process is not in a blocked state till the message is received. Same primitives here we are using. One is a send primitive, the second one is a receive primitive. Only the communication way is different. Okay, sending process will in a blocked state till the receiving process receives the message. First one. Sending process is not in a blocked state till the message is received by the receiving process. Next, blocked receive. The receiving process is not in a blocked state. Block means receiving process in a blocked state till it receives the message. Next, unblock. Receiving process is not in a blocked state till the message is received. Clear? The next and the last one is buffering. Buffering. So it may be a direct communication or indirect communication. Whatever process are sending, whatever messages the process are sending, that will be in a temporary queue. Temporary queue. Okay. So whatever messages the sending process and receiving process are sending, that will be in a temporary queue. Okay. And this queue is nothing but the buffer, and this can be of different size. Clear? What all the messages they are sending, that are in a temporary, that you understood, no? The next one is the that queue is nothing but it is a buffering only, and that buffering size of 3 types. One is a zero capacity, and the second one is the n number of messages, and the third one is the infinite. Clear? Zero capacity means that buffer size is 0, means till the receiving process receives the message, again the sending process cannot send the second message. Clear? Zero capacity. The next one is n number of messages, means in the buffer we can store n number of messages like a 10 or 20, means the sending process can send a 10 messages. The size of the buffer is 10 messages, and sending process already send the 10 messages. Again, if it want to send the 11th message, it will get an error. But there are only 9 messages. The sending process can continue sending a messages, because the sending process first it should check the size of the buffer. According to size, it can send. If it is sending more than the size, then it will get an error. But if the size is less, the buffer can accept the messages, and the receiving process can receive the message from the buffer. Clear? Next, the infinite. Infinite means a sending process can send n number of infinite messages. It can send any number of messages. A buffer can accommodate that many messages. There is no length, fixed length for that buffer. Clear? So this is about your IPC inter-process communication. This is very important. Okay, so in inter-process communication, more than one process is communicating with another process. So when they are communicating with other process, they are using two models. One is a shared memory, and the second one is a message passing. In a shared memory, more than one process or two process, they are communicating through the same address space using the shared memory. Clear? Now come to the message passing. Here the process can communicate with each other through the messages. One process can send the message and another process can receive the message. Again, message passing link can be established in 3 ways. One is either direct or indirect. The second one is a synchronization, and the third one is an automatic. Okay, that already I have explained. Once you go through the video, and when this video is sent to you, with that I will send you the material rules. Thank you. I hope you all understand.